another episode of Exploring Bluesky, an educational magazine docu-series featuring stories and interviews in Bluesky country. On today's episode, we chat with the volunteers at the Health Auxillery Thrift Store, and we speak with Pastor Paul about Sage Hill Evangelical Free Church and what it's all about. And Laryn gives us a look into the Jade Shoppe in Cache Creek. But first, let's go to Gareth as he brings us our recap on the Ashcroft and Cache Creek Council meetings from last week.
Hello, my name is Gareth and you are watching the Hub Online Network. This is your Ashcroft and Cache Creek Council meeting recap from February 24th in about 4.5 minutes. The Cache Creek Council meeting starts with Amelia Smart as a delegation. She talks about the need for a bus stop to be added to the Sage and Sands mobile home park. And on a second point, she brings up the lighting at a footbridge that connects Sage and Sands and the Collins Road for safety concerns. There are several committees that had no meeting and no report. The two committees that did have something to report talk about the Historic Hat Creek Society and Mayor Tallarico's recent TNRD meeting in Kamloops. Overall, this was a pretty short council meeting. The Ashcroft Committee of the Whole had no delegations, discussion items, or bylaws for discussion. Mayor Barbara Roden moved into an NDIT grant application for economic development. The grant itself is worth $50,000, and Mayor Roden suggests that the best way to use this money is to use $25,000 for a contractor to fill a position and come up with ideas to further Ashcroft's economic development, and the other $25,000 to implement what the contractor comes up with. This was motioned to be tabled until the actual council meeting that was coming up. Next, CFO Ballot presented an asset management PowerPoint slideshow. This showed what financially Ashcroft has in assets and how best to utilize those assets, what to look at next, and projects that need to be tackled now and what can wait. This presentation shows that Ashcroft needs to start saving upwards of $1 million a year, but currently only saves $580,000. There were lots of financial spreadsheets, and in these spreadsheets there was only one very critical item, which was the hot tub at the Ashcroft pool. The spreadsheets also tracked natural assets like parks and trails. It even takes into account a renewal process and even what is going to expire within the next 5 to 10 year financial plan. With some time to spare, Ballot was also able to show the gallery a project that he had been working on for the last 3 years, which is a map that has a breakdown of everything that is in Ashcroft. It was very detailed, and you can look up mostly anything you want. It was overall a very good demonstration, and his presentation ended with 30 seconds left between the Committee of the Whole meeting and the regular council meeting. The regular meeting was jam-packed with topics and delegations. The meeting started with a delegation presented by SOGI, or the Sexual Orientation Gender Identity Alliance. They talked about who they are, what the group is about, and what they have been up to, which includes a couple of trips, the want to make a school-wide mural, and they are looking at repainting the Rainbow Crosswalk in Ashcroft. A second delegation was presented by the mayor and CFO from Cache Creek. Mayor Tallarico was well-spoken and talked about possible ways that Cache Creek and Ashcroft can maybe work together moving forward. Mayor Barbara Roden replied by saying that she was looking forward to strengthening the bond between the two villages. Other topics discussed were the rezoning application for rebuilding the Boston Flats Mobile Home Park. The Ashcroft Indian Band asked for a letter of support. Funds were available to send the mayor and a guest to the annual Clinton Ball. A $500 grant was approved for the Ashcroft Fall Fair, plus the arena rental fees have been waived. When it came to appointing a counselor to sit on the Healthcare and Wellness Coalition meetings, no counselor was appointed. This topic was tabled due to the increasing number of committees the counselor were sitting on. Once the council has a chance to look at and reform their obligations, this topic will come back up around. The Ashcroft Curling Club was approved for the use of the arena for their day of fun, pending their insurance is valid. The asset management policy was approved. And with all the filming happening in Ashcroft, Gravity Productions has given the village a $5,000 as a legacy and a thank you, which is going to go towards the shades of the Ashcroft pool. Well, that's it for the recap of the Cache Creek and Ashcroft Council meetings. We'll see you next time.
Jade has been mined in our area for over 50 years. Laryn Gilmore takes us into the Jade Shoppe to learn more about Jade and what the store has to offer in Cache Creek. Let's take a look.
I'm standing outside the Caribou Jade Shoppe that has been a gem in Cache Creek for over 50 years. Travelers and locals can come in and get their hands on some beautiful gems and jewelry, and also BC jade that is mined right here in BC, a little bit further up north.
Well, my family's had it since 1985, so I've been working here since probably I was too young to start working, 7 or 8. I think I started getting paid when I was 10.
That's awesome. Oh my
Candy.
God. When we look at the jade here, is it locally found as well, or?
It's BC jade.
Yeah.
So it used to be found around the Lytton Littlewood area. That's pretty much picked clean now. So most of the jade now comes from the Dews Lake area, which is farther north. But that's the main. And jade is the provincial gemstone for BC, so we're known for jade.
And now I've noticed that kind of the pricing here. I've been around BC, and your pricing is probably one of the best I've seen. Do you find you get that a lot from people?
Yeah, a lot of people, especially if they're from the city or other places, they'll recognize that it's good prices, and yeah, they stock up.
So what else can you find here that, like over the years, have you introduced any new type of products that you didn't have before?
Originally, well, the store's been here since 1967, and it was originally more a souvenir, touristy, specializing in the jade, of course, and we still specialize in the jade, but we've gotten a lot more into people like the healing stones and raw specimens as well, so we've expanded a lot more into that. Things that are not cut and polished, but just the raw form, as well as some people like just unusual stones, again, for sort of the healing or astrological powers of the stone. We do have a lot of jewelry, but it's not our main focus. We sort of try to get something for everyone, so we have a lot of books with the local interest in them, as well as other mugs, magnets, not just souvenir things, because we get a lot of local, meaning BC travelers, so they're not wanting touristy Canada things, but a lot of the Aboriginal artists' work or purses, that kind of thing. We've got some shirts with wildlife on it, and a little less touristy things, more things that people locally in BC would like. The art club, we're involved with the local art club in Ashcroft, and so through there we do display some local artists' work.
And do you find people will like buy them coming through?
Yeah, not. They're hard to transport, so it's usually more the locals that buy the artwork, but it's just nice to showcase local artists' work. And then we have art cards as well that have the local artwork on it.
And now tell me a little bit about business. Do you have a lot of traffic coming through more so, or would you say actually more local business?
Probably more traveling people, but again, not necessarily from out of country, but a lot of, like, we get a lot from Prince George, people that are coming through on their way to the Lower Mainland, that kind of thing. So summer is definitely our busier season. That's why we're limited hours now. Winter hours, there's not a lot of tourist traffic, but we do get bus tours as well coming through. So that's during the summer months. That's why we're open 7 days a week, May to end of September.
And what hours do you open May to end of September?
9 to 5:30, and Sundays 9 to 4:30.
Perfect. And then during the winter, your hours are Monday to Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And then it'll bump up to 5 days a week, and then to the 7 days starting May.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you like to feature or like when they come in and ask about the jade, do you kind of give them information of where it comes from or how it was brought here?
Yeah, we've got a quality chart there that sort of helps people understand the different grades of jade. A lot of people are more familiar with the jade now since the Jade Fever TV show's been out on Discovery Channel. It's sort of brought awareness to not only the difficulty of mining jade, how remote it is and access, as well as how much effort you can put into and then find poor quality specimens, that kind of thing. But so people are a lot more aware of jade now than they were before it got so much publicity.
Yeah, and now you've got a lot of signage coming in. Is there anything that maybe new this season that people can look forward to coming?
We're going to start getting our new arrivals starting in the next few weeks. We placed our orders, so as things start arriving, we're going to be having our new products come in, and we usually sort of showcase those on our Facebook, that kind of thing.
And how can people get to your Facebook? What's the Facebook page called there?
It's just Facebook/Caribou Jade.
Oh, okay. And then do you have a website at all that people
We do have a website, and we've got 950 items you can buy online. So we do online sales through the world as well.
And what's that website that we can go to as well?
www.cariboujade.com.
Perfect. So that's awesome. So you get the online sales. Someone sees something they like, they can go back online after and be like, I should have got that.
Yeah, sometimes people will phone or they'll email and say, I was there, I saw this, I didn't buy it, and now I regret it. Can you ship it to me? That kind of thing. Definitely important to shop locally. I mean, supporting local businesses, those are the people who are donating and sponsoring things more than the big box, which pretty much just take the money and send it to their corporate office. So I think there's statistics that say small business, so much percentage of the money stays local and continues sort of as a cycle spent locally, like we buy local groceries. So, you know, it sort of feeds the town and supports everybody, whereas corporate businesses, they don't put any money back into the communities where they live.
Now, as the summer months near, Jade Shoppe will be open a little bit longer, so travelers and people coming in for festivities can get their hands on some local jade. I'm Laryn Gilmore for the Hub Online Network.
The congregation at Sage Hill Evangelical Free Church will welcome you to their family-oriented community church. Last time we chatted with the longest-standing members of Sage Hills Church, and now we have more on Sage Hill Evangelical Free Church. Here's Pastor Paul.
Anyway, it started in 1969 as Evangelical Free Church plant, and has grown in the community since then. It's been in this location probably for the last 40 years when the church was built. There have been a number of pastors in the church over that period of time. I've been here as pastor for 3.5 years. I've been in the church for 20 years though, and so know the people well and know the community quite well as well. It's a church that's made up of a group of people who love God and who desire to know Him more fully. We do that through meeting together Sunday mornings at 10:30 for a church service where we sing and give praise to God, and we have a message from God's word to teach us. During the week we have some Bible studies going on in different homes that are also a method of teaching and of fellowship together. There have been children's activities throughout the years as well. Right now we have a Sunday school that also meets at 10:30 for children, and a youth group that meets during the week as they have time in their schedules to meet as well. So, first of all, we're ordinary people. We're not different than them in the sense that we've all been born to a mother and father. We're the same as them. What's happened in our lives is we've realized that somehow we need to have a connection with God, and as God has worked in our hearts to realize that as we give ourselves to Him. And that comes from reading His Word and understanding that we need to recognize who He is, because we're going to give an account to Him. But as a church, we're a group of people who are families. You can see us walking down the street just like anyone else. Nothing different about us other than within the goals of our life is as a desire to please God. If you come inside the doors of this church, it's a very informal church compared to, say for instance, I'll use the word mainline denominations such as a Catholic church or an Anglican church, where they have a lot of liturgy in their church. That's part of their culture. In our church culture, we don't have that liturgy aspect. You won't see me dressed in a robe up front. I dress a little differently than I am today, but not a whole lot differently than anyone else that is in the church. So we're very laid back in that sense. We don't have expectations. We don't place expectations on people. If they want to come here and find out about who God is, learn about who God is, they're very welcome to come, and they would be received and welcomed here very, very readily. First of all, it's a hospital for the spiritually sick. And we're all spiritually sick. We're all born, the Bible tells us, as sinners, which sometimes we have a hard time grasping or grappling with. But in the beginning of creation, when God made Adam and Eve to begin with, He made them perfect, but they chose to disobey Him. And the result of that was that it was sin, and the consequence of sin is death. And so we're all spiritually sick in that sense, and God gives us the opportunity to be made spiritually well. So there's that aspect of it, but then there is the physical side of sickness as well, and certainly we have witnessed people being made well as we've prayed for them, as God has worked in their lives to bring wholeness and healing to them. It's not something that we would, I wouldn't tell somebody to come here expecting that. That's up to God, what He does in their lives as far as whether He wants to allow them to live on in the condition they are or to be healed from that. So I wouldn't tell somebody to come here expecting to be healed from a physical illness. They may be, but I wouldn't say come here and you'll be healed. I would describe this church as a group of people who come together and love each other as a family would love each other. It's a group of people that are, I think the youngest one actually is only about a week old or 2 weeks old, and the oldest one I think is in the mid-80s. So, and there's people of all ages in between. We are taught in the Bible that we are a family, and we certainly try to take on the resemblance of a family as we care for each other and as we look out for each other and just do things together as a group of people.
You can check out Sunday services at Sage Hills Church at 10:30 on Mesa Vista Drive. Thrift stores always promise great prices and great finds, and the Ashcroft thrift stores are no exception. This week we explore why these places are so great to volunteer at. Volunteers, and you're not just a volunteer, you are the
coordinator. The
coordinator of the whole store?
Yes.
All right. So tell me exactly, what do you do here?
I guess basically I get to be boss.
Yeah. You get to boss people around and shop all day.
Well, no, we don't. Oh. But we just, no, I do a lot of hanging up the clothes and making sure things are as tidy as they can be, and bringing in drop-offs that come in during the, when the store is open. And that's about it. Like, we all work together, and I think the coordinator is more or less just the title.
I can imagine you get to see a lot of interesting objects and clothes come in on a daily basis.
Yes, we do. Last spring, actually, when we got a beautiful beaded blue dress from, I don't know what era it was, but it saw the price tag on from Eaton's. And it must have sold because I was gone for the summer. And it's
Was
gone.
it really like a really for small? Like I think I saw that one. I think I tried it on, but I didn't get it. And there was a green one too, right? Blue and green one.
Yeah. I
See,
think so, yeah.
I remember. I was like, oh, I want that, but
So yeah,
no,
we can get a lot
you
of
have to be
vintage.
like 0 to fit that one.
Yeah, we get a lot of vintage clothing.
Yeah.
We get clothes for all sizes and, you know, kids, adults, boys. Men.
Being on TV too, I like to come and peruse the dress area. They've got a lot of like professional wear here as well.
Yes, we do, and we actually get a few grad dresses in, business clothes, the occasional man suits, and a lot of jeans, a lot of brand name jeans.
If people are looking for things specifically, would you say that they'd be able to find it, like work items, boots? Sometimes some of the guys come in
Yeah,
here.
fairly
working.
often we get a lot of work boots in, and the workers that come into Desert Farms in the summer, they constantly go through a lot of work boots, and we always try to save a bunch of them for when they come in here, so that they've got the work boots, and we do have a lot of work clothes for them.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the objects too. I always like looking for a more like the vintage type pieces because you don't see them around very much, or the unique styles of dishware or things that grandparents would like now.
Well, yeah, a lot of
Like
the vintage we usually
Corningware that you don't get.
Pyrex more than Corningware.
Oh, okay.
And there's actually that silver pot you can picture.
Camping.
No, the lady come in on Wednesday, and she had mentioned that her mom had a complete set of it, and I can't remember the name of them.
Oh, okay.
And she had the complete set of them, the dishes, pots and pans and such, and she lost them in a fire.
Oh, wow.
So she said they're from the 50s.
Yeah.
So it's just vintage. And with the vintage stuff, we usually try to put in the back for our girl that does the display case.
For the vintage and stuff. Why did you decide to volunteer here?
I started off just looking for something to do in the winter because I was working seasonal. And then it just became just a great place to be.
All right. And would you recommend other people volunteering here?
Of course.
Yeah.
We can always use another volunteer.
Well, we get so many donations of books, and we need someone to sort them out, so that's primarily my job. I sort them out and then put them back on the library shelves for people to buy. All the latest editions, people buy them, read them, and then donate them, and they're just like new.
Just like new?
Yes, like new, yeah, a lot of them. Then, of course, we get lots that are sort of well-loved. They're not in very good shape, but still readable. And then there's some that we just have to get rid of because there's pages missing and things like that. Well, they're mostly novels. We have classics. We have a particular shelf, just a shelf for the classics. And we have romance. And then there's cookbooks and books on sewing and craft. It'll be my 8th year.
Oh, 8
Yeah.
years.
Yes.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
What has been some of your favorite stories about volunteering here?
Oh, so many. I think it's the people that volunteer. I just love them.
It seems like it's a happy place to
It
come.
is a good place. Yes, I enjoy coming here. I'm getting on in years, and I don't have too many more years to volunteer here, but I'm hoping to last to the very end.
And why would you tell somebody to come and volunteer here?
Oh, because I think it gives you a sense of purpose, I think.
I've done some cash on Fridays. I usually just work Fridays, and then work in the kitchen in the back room as well, pricing kitchenwares and stuff, and hanging clothes.
Why did you decide to volunteer here?
Because my sister made me.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to say that.
And
Meeting people.
yeah.
Because I've just moved back to to Ashcroft and meet new people and so forth. It just gets you out of the house and meet people and meet with a good crew.
Is where we do the pricing and like some of the cleaning and everything, so the stuff goes out there clean. Then this other section right here is our book ladies section. And that's our book ladies section right there. As you can see, a lot of donations come in.
Well, that's it for our show today. Thanks for watching. I've been filming at a special location. Do you know where I am? Leave your comment on this video and tell us your best guess for your chance to win a cool prize. I'm Dana Foster, and you're watching the Hub Online Network. Join us next time for more local stories and interviews on exploring blue sky.